Welcome to Fitness with Karen, gentle yoga for everybody. So again, no matter how young or old, or if you're just starting, or if you are a regular practitioner, this is for you. I'm going to start without any music. So if you prefer to have music, feel free to find a playlist that's suitable for your taste, nice and calming and relaxing, and hit play, and we'll meet you on the floor. As you can see, I have some pillows here. Especially if you don't have yoga blocks, you don't necessarily have to have yoga blocks. Pillow or a couch pillow is sufficient enough for support. I'm using two to support my legs, my thighs, and my knees if you have tight hips. And I want to bring you to a comfortable seated pose to start. So let's bring ourselves to a seated pose. Sitting up nice and tall and relaxing your shoulders away from the ears. Think about dipping your chin down, then pulling it in towards the throat to elongate from the back of the neck, and take the palms facing up. Once you're settled into a place that's comfortable, invite your eyes to close. Begin to slow things down as we begin our practice. So as we try to get still and comfortable, begin to soften through your hips, softening through your shoulders. Begin to soften and relax the breath. So nothing to really do much here, but to sit still and just breathe regularly. Begin to slow everything down. And as we bring it inward, that connection to our inner self. Begin to breathe deeply through the nose, filling up the belly. And I want you to kind of imagine yourself blowing through a straw as you exhale out. And try that for a few times. Just get into the rhythm of breathing, breathing through the nose. And then blowing through that imaginary straw. Notice the attention to your diaphragm as you continue this way. Notice how you have to press from the bottom of the belly to get that breath out. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Now we're going to change that up, sitting still, deep breath in through the nose, slight constriction in the back of the throat, and then exhale out through the nose the same way, but out through the nose. And just take notice of how that feels. Let's focus on that for a moment. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. You might almost hear a slight snoring sound, and that's good. Make yourself sound like Darth Vader, that's even better. Or make your breath sound like the waves in the ocean. That's my favorite go-to. Begin to make your way through this style of breath as we connect with our body. If you find yourself letting the body weigh a little heavy, I want you to sit up tall and create space. Sitting proudly in your seated pose. I want you to invite the image of a statue sitting still. I want you to invite breath in your inner statue self. And practice breathing and sitting still. And it's going to take some time to really hone in to this skill of breathing and sitting still. Let's say your mind is arguing with you right now, maybe giving you some negative thoughts. I want you to push those negative thoughts aside and say, I can do this. I can sit still and I can breathe continuously with audible breath. So your audible breath is your Ujjayi pranayama. Let's sit in that for a little bit and just sit quietly and follow the breath. Each inhalation is the same length as your exhalation. So if the monkey mind is present, go ahead and release the monkey mind and follow the breath. Go for 3 more rounds of breath here. Final deep breath in, fill up that belly. Fill up that chest and ribs. Exhale, bow your head forward, open your eyes. Placing your hands on top of your knees, cupping your knees. And bring your gaze upward, facing forward. Let's start with the shoulders, rolling the shoulders back and down. Rolling the shoulders forward. And again, try to retract that chin towards the chest and just focus on the circular motion of the shoulders. Shrugging the shoulders up to your ears and drop. And lift and drop. Really scrunch it up and then learn how good it feels to relax. One more time, scrunch and relax. Bowing your head forward. Shoulders right above the hips, dipping your chin towards the chest. And you start to feel the gentle stretch from the base of the spine to the crown of your head. And then we're going to drop the head back, sitting up tall, opening up the front part of the neck. Bow your head forward, chin to your chest. Maybe even close your eyes and connect with that feeling. Inhale, tilt your head back, looking up. Exhale, bowing your head forward, connecting with the breath. Inhale, drop your head back, looking up. And look forward, add a little smile. Let's go ahead and switch our legs the opposite direction. And if you have your pillows, go ahead and set them aside. We'll need them later. Upper body, movement in the arms. Sweep your arms up high. In this variation of a mountain pose, but in a seated position. So you're feeling the same way, reaching your arms up, relaxing your shoulders down, drawing your hands to face each other. And then we're going to seal the hands and draw it in front of our heart. Shifting our hands to that right shoulder. I like doing this lately because I'm realizing this is a good stretch for me, who moves a lot. It was challenging the first time I did it. So when it's a challenge, challenge the body. Then you're going to take your hand across the chest to your left shoulder. And then take a moment here to find the stretch. So maybe keeping your elbows nice and wide. Elbow points maybe pointing towards the left side of the room. You can feel the tricep or the back of the arm really getting a stretch. Shifting your arms to the right shoulder. Keep pressing the hands together as you shift. And then transfer the hands to the left shoulder. Perfect. Bring it to center. Interlace the hands. I'm going to go ahead and give you a quarter shot here. Pressing the palms forward, shoulders over the hips, tilting your hip points up to straighten out that spine. And then lifting the arms up over the head. So I want you to imagine, what is your range of motion here? Where is your threshold of your edge? And can you challenge your edge to go deeper? So maybe today this is as far as you're going to go. But maybe if you try to press the palms directly to face the sky, maybe moving your bicep by your ears and relaxing, softening the shoulders. Stay with it maybe for 3 rounds of breath here, challenging the body. So again, with intention of pressing the palms up, you're going to gently stretch the body without forcing. So just breathe and press and ground and soften the shoulders. One more time, deep breath in, looking forward, elongating from the base of the skull, and then releasing the hands, shoulder level, flipping the palm towards you. Exhale, round your back, separating the shoulder blades. So as we contract here, really separate those shoulder blades apart as you continue to reach your arms forward. Imagine someone's tugging you by the wrist as you continuously extend the arms forward and bringing your heart to your back body. Releasing the hands, and let's shake it off. So while we're shaking it off, I really want you to just shake it off like you're drying your hands. We hold a lot of energy, so this is a good one that I like. So when you shake your hands, really shake it, and then I want you to ball up your hands and exhale, throw it out. Feel that, one more time. Shake, 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 shake. Grab and catch that energy and throw. And then place your hands on top of your knees. Do you feel your hands buzzing? That's energy, that's your blood flow. And I like doing that to really connect, like, hey, something is really going on here. All right, side stretch. Let's do this. Right hand connects to the ground. Reach that left arm up, shoulders kind of softens. Continue to bring that left bicep by the ear. And we're gonna walk that right hand out to the floor, across the floor, and gentle stretch here. Try not to let your left hips lift. You wanna ground that left hip equally with the right hip. Lift the arms up, finding that stretch. And then maybe bringing your gaze up towards your hands without dropping the back of the neck, right? Continue to lift out of the base of the skull and create that straight line. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper, see if you can bring yourself down to your elbow, maybe not even touching, and then maybe reaching your left arm by the ear. Stay with the breath. Exhale out. Think about you're clearing out your lungs. Deep breath in. Exhale that stale air out. Final inhale, lengthening. Exhale, dropping that left hand back down to the ground. Other side. Grounding that left hand, reaching that right arm up. Shoulders relaxes, reaching that arm up towards the sky. And you can almost feel that counter stretch as you anchor your sit bones down. That right arm continues to lengthen. So not forcing, soften the shoulders and feel that lift. Walk your left hand and then side bend to the left, reaching that right arm up, creating that nice long spine, and see if you can go a little bit deeper into your stretch. So I want you to imagine from your right middle finger, straight hand, straight wrist, straight forearm, elbows, armpit, all the way down to your hip, to your sit bones. Straight diagonal line. Bring it back to center. Good. Let's stretch out the legs. So a little wider than the hips. And then we're just gonna move it around, shake it off. So now that they're slightly wide, I want you to take your hands back. Side V here. Hands back, shoulders back, lifting up tall, opening up the chest, flexing your feet. See if you can flex your feet for this one. and anchor your sit bones, right? The two bones that we've been sitting on. And then this is a nice gentle stretch from across the chest, as well as rotating that bicep outward to squeeze the shoulder blades. And then let's sit in this pose for 3 rounds of breath. Try not to let that head drop. Continue to retract the neck and lengthen as we squeeze the shoulder blades together. Final deep breath in, final deep breath out, and then gently come out of your pose. Right, so now that we're coming out of our pose, this time plant your feet flat onto the ground, knees up. And we're just gonna bring our hands back for support, and we're gonna rock our knees. We're gonna windshield wiper the knees side to side, gently just moving the hips. Now the challenge here is, can you keep both of your feet down as you just drop the knees side to side? Right, try not to move your butt cheeks to lift, which is challenging. Will we ever get there? Maybe. This is one way to stretch out the outer hips. And then when you're ready, we're going to drop it to the right. And we're going to support ourselves with that right hand and twist to the right. See if you can bring that left hip down and twist to the right. Right? Just exploring our body and how capable are we to move. You might feel like you're not doing anything, but if you're working with intention to really ground that right hand down, lengthening up the spine, trying to keep that left hip down, you'll notice the body in its true form, in this perfect posture. You're gonna feel it on the inside of that left thigh, maybe in your hip crease, maybe finding a cramp in your outer hip. And then we're gonna change the movement here to the left side. So take your left hand down for support, drop the knees to the left, and then support that left hand, lift up, bring your seat down, and turn to the left. A different twisting pose. If you can look over to that left shoulder. Try to keep your right hip down. Sitting up nice and tall, anchoring that left hand down to lengthen. Where's your chin? Is it sticking up? Is your shoulder shrugging? Create space. When you're ready, come back to center. And we're gonna toe heel our feet together and bring the soles of our feet together for butterfly pose. The edges of your feet should be touching and pressing. Draw your heels of your feet towards your pubic bone. And then you can grab your feet and bounce those knees up and down. Sitting up, root to rise, right? What does that mean? Pressing down, lengthening, and then just flapping those knees like nice butterfly wings. Let's see if we can rock our seat side to side. Let's go for a nice gentle fold. So inhale the knees up, exhale, press the thigh bones as far as you can down, lengthen as you inhale, and then we're gonna fold forward with a straight back, hinging from the hips, folding forward. So we're getting into the hip crease as well as working on that lower back. Go as far as your edge, right? What is your edge today? And can you hold that and breathe? Maybe even challenge yourself to go a little bit deeper if you feel inclined to go deeper. Relax that lower back, lengthen through the spine, soften the hips, and see how much further you can go. Inhale yourself back up. Good. Let's make our way to a tabletop position, hands and knees. We're gonna work on our spine to warm up our spine, cow and cat. So for this one, I want us to inhale into cat pose. So we're gonna inhale, pressing away from the ground as we draw that breath into the body. Rotate the bicep outward, press away from the ground. One more deep breath in. Exhale, transition into your cow pose. Arching your spine, lifting your sit bones up, looking up towards the ceiling. So really lifting and lengthening through the front line of the body. Dynamically moving. Inhale through your cat. Exhale into your cow. Inhale through your cat. Exhale through your cow. One more time. Inhale through your cat. Exhale through your cow pose. Come back to neutral spine. Walk your hands forward. Modified plank. So in our modified plank pose, you're going to release your hips. Use your upper body strength. Check your hands. Spread them wide. And claw at your mat, pressing your energy through your thumb, through your index finger and your thumb, creating an L and a J shape. And then I want you to transition your weight to your fingertips and into your knuckles as you press that down. Lowering down to our belly, lowering down to our chin. Release the arms alongside of your body, left cheek onto the mat. Surrender those shoulders. Keep your nice alignment in the neck. Now, if you had some whiplash before, or if you have some neck injuries, this may be difficult for you, then your modification will be stacking your hands and placing your forehead on top of it to neutralize the neck and the head, along with your spine. But if you want to work on that range of motion, then I encourage you to plant your left ear and listen to the earth. Maybe bring your feet wide to the edges of your mat, bring your toes in and heels out, and just surrender. We're going to turn our heads when you're ready to the opposite cheek. So the weight of our head is allowing us to gently stretch the neck and the head. Let your head weigh heavy, and you'll notice it may feel intense. That means that we're just tightening the neck. I want you to get comfortable with working your edge, softening your shoulders, relaxing your hips, relaxing your sacrum, relaxing your glutes, relaxing your ankles. When you're ready, let's go to Sphinx pose. Bring your chin in the middle of the mat and press your hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to lift yourself up and bring your elbows down onto the ground. So what I want you to do is try not to bring your elbows out. I want you to bring your elbows in and hug them in. So if you have your armpit and the inside of your arm, they should be squeezing inward and planting your forearms down. Releasing your belly, releasing your glutes, and you're going to retract your chin in, and you're going to traction out your spine by pulling your elbows towards you to lengthen your upper body. See how you can traction out that spine, that lower back. Deep breath in, fill up. Relax those glutes, turn your head to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn your head to the left. Continue to squeeze and hug those arms in to traction out your spine, relax your glutes. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Lower yourself down and release the arms, left cheek onto the mat. Softening the shoulders. all in the breath, connected with that breath. Final inhale. Exhale, chin to the middle of the mat. Let's go for baby cobra. Hands underneath the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears. Bring your legs, zip them up. Press the tops of your feet against the mat, and you're going to use the strength of your lower back and your tricep into your baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Let's flow the cobra. Glue the legs together, knees off the mat. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise again. Exhale, lower. Final one. Inhale into your baby cobra. If you want to challenge your strength, glue those legs together and lift the arms off of the mat. 2, exhale, relax the body, right cheek onto the mat, looking to the left. Surrender. When you're ready, let's transition into a tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, press into your tabletop. Let's go for our first child's pose. Toes together, knees wide. You have the option to go for your extended child's pose by just lengthening out your arms and pressing away from the mat. Gentle, relaxing. Stay here for 5 rounds of breath. Keep maybe reaching your fingertips to the top of the mat as you sink and melt down towards the earth. Relax the shoulders. Final deep breath in. Final deep breath out. Let's transition to a tabletop position. In this one, we're going to take our right foot between the hands into a low lunge. So we're going to get into our legs. Stepping through, bring your knee right above that ankle. Release the hips forward. And begin to find that nice stretch. Maybe even sliding that left leg behind you and square your hips. So maybe if you need some pillows to support that knee, then you can take a pillow or a rolled up towel or a folded up towel for a knee support. And I want you to just really listen to the body in this pose. When you plant that right foot down, you're going to slide that left leg back and square your hips. And see if you can bring your heart forward into this pose. Breathing, I know the longer that you stay here, it really feels intense. Now I want you to plant the top of that left foot into the mat and see if that changes or deepens the stretch. So it's not a force, it's more when you anchor down, it gently releases. Now let's walk our hands back to your half split or what we call half monkey god. Send your hips back, walk your hands back, find your center balance, and maybe scoot that right foot forward. You're going to get into that hamstring. See if you can straighten out your spine. Keep pressing the top of that left foot down while you send your sit bones back. So you're really balancing on that left knee, trying to find your center. Walk your hands back into your low lunge, releasing that left front hip flexor. Walk your hands back, extend that leg. One more time into your low lunge, release the hips. Exhale, walk it back, straighten out that right leg. Inhale, walk it back into your lunge. Hands plants down, send that right knee back, And we're going to rest and reset into your extended child's pose. So this is a variation. Your toes don't have to touch. Inhale, transition back to your tabletop position. Stepping that left foot between the hands, working on the left side. Release the hips. Anchor that left foot down, left hip back, right hip forward, square the hips. And begin to find that stretch on your right hip flexor. Get to know your body. How can we balance our body? Maybe if you anchor and press down onto the heel from the knee down, you're gonna feel it. Anchor that right foot to the mat. See if that changes. Create space in your upper body as you lift out of it. Breathing into the space. Relax your glutes. Soften the hips. Again, explore, talk yourself through here. What is happening when I breathe and hold the pose? What is releasing? What is resisting? Can we let go? When you're ready, half monkey God pose. Walk your hands back, extending that left leg, maybe even sliding and scooting that left foot forward. Sending that left hip back. Send your sit bones back and lengthen out through your spine. So again, now that right leg is in a nice straight line, knee and hip alignment. Moving through our lunge and extended leg, inhale into your low lunge. Exhale, extend that left leg. Inhale into your low lunge again. Exhale, extend. One more time. Inhale into your low lunge. Exhale, extend. Final low lunge here. Send that left knee back to meet with the right and reset in your variation of extended child's pose. Gently bring yourself up to a tabletop position and make your way to a seated pose. So now that we're in a seated pose, let's make our way onto our backs. Well, let's lie on our backs. Drawing your knees into the chest, giving yourself a gentle squeeze and rocking yourself side to side. Massaging your sacrum. With your hands on top of your knees, let's gently circle the knees in one direction. What I want you to feel is you want to press your lower back towards the floor. So you're going to contract, pull your belly up and in, and press down and engage. And then we're going to take our knees into a nice range of motion of a big circle. And it's a challenge to keep the core engaged while you circle the knees. Rotate them the opposite direction. This is a good one. Let's say your hips are a little tight. This is a good hip stretch, creating that circular motion with the knees. When you're ready, let's plant the feet back close to our seat and toe heel our feet outward. Draw the knees and the thighs inward. And that same action of flattening out that lower sacrum, engaging to the mat, press down. And you can feel the outer thighs starting to engage and creating this toning resistance. Maybe take your arms into a cactus pose and feel your shoulders connected to your mat. Keep squeezing the knees and the thighs in, firmly planting your feet into the mat to make your lower back nice and engaged to the floor. You can almost feel it in your hamstrings, right? Stay for one more inhale. Exhale out. We're going to toe heel our feet inward. And we're going to seal the feet together into our bound angle pose on our back. So Baddha Konasana or bound angle or cobbler's pose. So take a moment here to check in with the thighs and the hip crease. This is where your pillow comes in. If this is a little too much, you can have the pillow support you for assistance. Or if you want to go deeper and you have that flexibility, then bring your heels towards your pubic bone, upward, lower back flattens, and bring those knees wide. And take your arms back to cactus. We're going to stay here for 5 long breaths. So connect with the breath and stay engaged. We're gently opening up the hips and the thigh, inside thigh muscles. Deep breath in. Inflate those lungs like a balloon. Exhale, deflate. 4 more. Nice long deep breath in. Exhale, deep breath out. Start to relax and soften, but continue to engage and keep your lower back flat. Breathing in deeply. Final inhale. Final exhale. Gently bring the knees together. Oof. Feet flat onto the ground. Pull your knees in towards your chest and then gently rock side to side. Feet plants down. When you're ready, we're going to pull that right knee into the chest. Interlace your hands right on top of the shin bone and gently squeeze that knee in towards you. Begin to release the left leg and lengthen that left leg out. Now, if you find your lower back arching, again, keep that engagement, lower back flat. Keep pressing through the left heel for that counter stretch. Let's roll that right ankle around. Rolling it the opposite direction. Again, gently pulling that knee in towards the body while that left leg continues to extend. Find your center. You should feel like you're in a nice long straight line. And then when you're ready, we're going to plant that right foot down and you're going to drop your right knee towards the floor and bring your right heel inside that left thigh or towards the left thigh into a tree pose. So if you've done tree pose, think about like you're standing and doing a tree pose, but this time you're on your back. How does that feel? Now you're going to feel the outer hip really stretching, the inner thigh activating. Your lower back is lifting. I want you to pull your belly up and in again and feel that. Breathe. So hips are centered, lower back is trying to reach the floor, that left leg is active, and you're pressing that right heel, flexing your right foot to protect your knee joint. Now we're going to change that. We're going to bring you're going to bring your left knee to the chest, interlacing your hands in front of the shin bone and pulling that left knee towards you. Checking with your chin, is it pointing up to the ceiling? I want you to draw your chin towards the chest so that way you can open up the back of the neck, lifting from the base of the skull while you pull that left knee towards you. Now we're going to go to half butterfly pose. So this is a little bit deeper. You're going to take your left hand and you're going to lift that right foot, grab that right foot and bring it close to your body. And try to bring your knee point down on that right knee. And we're just gonna stay here. You're gonna pull that foot close to the body as we pull that left knee towards the shoulder gently. Relax your hips, keep your lower back flat, and you can really feel it on the outer knee, maybe your right hip, outer hip, and your inside of your thigh. 2 more rounds of breath here. Releasing your left foot down, and then releasing the right leg to stretch. And then we're gonna do some baby bicycles here. So you're gonna pull in that left knee, lift that right leg up off the ground, and let's just kind of switch one leg at a time into our bicycle. So the lower back doesn't lift, you're just extending the legs one at a time without it touching the floor. And then when you're ready, we're gonna hold on to our left knee, interlace your hands in front of the shin bone, release that right leg along the mat. Continue to pull and find your center. So working our way through our body, how does this feel? How can we find our alignment? And can we create that line of energy the way we did on the right side? So working our balance here, lower back flat, engaging that energy from the right heel to press away from you as you gently pull in that left knee towards the body, chin towards the chest, body's engaged. Let's roll the left ankle around. Roll it in the opposite direction. And gently pull in that knee a little bit more for a stretch. Can you relax the hips? Can you keep your lower back engaged without force? Just try to keep the lower back flat. And to do that, it's that right leg that's staying active. Plant your left foot down. Let's make that supine tree pose. Bring the left heel inside that right thigh and bring that knee open. Hip point tilts up just to get into that deeper stretch. Try to keep your hips engaged. So maybe gently pulling the energy in through your glutes to keep that lower back flat. You're going to feel that deeper stretch now on that left side. Breathe with it. Stay with it. Keep pressing through that left heel to work your edge. You can maybe feel it on your knee, outer thigh, outer hip. When you're ready, let's pull that left knee into the chest, right knee to the chest. And releasing your hands, pulling that knee in, giving yourself a gentle squeeze. Keeping both shoulders to the ground. Here's that challenge. Take your right hand, grab your left foot, and bring it closer to the body. Think about your left shin bone rolling outward towards the floor. When you pull that in, you're now in this half butterfly pose. 5 rounds of breath here. Final inhale. Exhale, plant that right foot down. Begin to release that left leg. Then gently release the right leg, shake it off. And we're gonna go for that bicycle. Pull that right knee in. Lift that left leg off the ground. Bicycle it out for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull both knees in. This time, let's pull the knees in independently, circling the knees outward. Rotate them the opposite direction. And gently plant your feet down. Roll onto your right side in a fetal position, and let's prop ourselves up into a seat. Walking your seat to create space, stretch out those legs. We're gonna make our way into our hips. So let me face you here. We're gonna take our left foot close to our body. Bring maybe your heel towards your pubic bone, flexing that foot. We're gonna take that right foot and we're gonna go for our rock the baby or rock the cradle. So support your right ankle, flex that foot. So you'll notice that the shin bone is rolling down, out away from you. So you're pointing your shin bone down to the floor as you rotate that thigh outward. And the challenge here is to lift the leg close to the body. Can you see that one? So as we flex, it's a deeper hip stretch, right? We've kind of warmed up our hips. So this is another hip stretch. We're gonna ground our sit bones down, sit up tall, and then we're just gonna gently rock it side to side. Make sure you're flexing your foot. Try not to do too much. Listen to your body. This is really deep. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release it down. And then windshield wiper your knees side to side. So go for the other side. Bring your right heel towards your pubic bone, flexing that foot. We're gonna cradle our left leg, support that ankle with that right hand and support your knee with the left hand. And then we're just gonna gently rock it side to side. Try to sit up tall. That's the challenge. Sitting up tall is the challenge, because then it really reminds you how tight we are in the hips. And if you want to go deeper, you can take your heel to your elbow point, to your eye of the elbow on that right arm, and then cradle the left knee with the left eye of the elbow, and then you just cradle the baby. Challenging yourself to sit up tall. When you're ready, drop your foot down, feet flat, windshield wiper your knees side to side. Let's make our way down onto our backs. Starting here, lying on our backs. Stretching out the legs. We're gonna bring both, actually right knee into the chest. We're gonna go for that twist. Left hand over that right knee. Release the arms. So I want you to think about rolling from your shoulder bone or your arm bone, roll it back, and then twist to the left. Looking over to the right shoulder. Smooth out that breath. If it's choppy, you're working too hard. So the challenge here is to get to a point where your breath is smooth while holding this pose. Just relax and melt. Because what the feeling should be is that it's not a forced stretch. You're just allowing the body to settle and allowing itself to twist. Unwind, feet flat, windshield wiper your knees side to side. We're going to do the left side quickly. Pulling in that left knee, releasing that right leg out. Gentle squeeze to the chest. Go ahead and actually towards the shoulder, release that left arm, twist to the right. Relax both shoulders to the ground. Arm bone releases. And then begin to relax and melt into your twist. Bring it back to center. Feet flat, windshield wiper your knees side to side. And we're just going to end it with a tight little ball here. So draw your knees towards you. Then release your hands in front of the shins. Pull in, forehead to knee to forehead. Plant your feet down and let's surrender with the support today. So grab your pillows and I want you to bring it underneath your thighs or your knees and take space. Really get relaxed into your shavasana. Take the arms wide. Feel like a starfish. We're just going to surrender here. I will do this with you because this is very yummy. Appreciate the little things, your accomplishments. If you got into positions today that you never thought you could, that is an appreciation. Be thankful that you got there today. Today that you can keep your monkey mind a little more quiet, that is an accomplishment that deserves gratitude. If you had a little aha moments on the map today, be thankful for that you got there. All the little things. Find comfort in the discomfort. There's going to be times that in stillness, you're going to find yourself restless. Take a moment to just honor being in the now, being in the present. This is how we learn to practice patience and forgiveness and compassion. We are doing the best that we can to learn to enjoy the art of doing nothing. Let's begin to invite breath back into our body and our space. Bringing movement to our fingers and to our toes. Ending our practice with a nice final stretch. Reaching your arms up over your head. And then gently rolling onto your side. Carefully, when you're ready, to make your way up to a seated pose. And let's meet on the mat at the way we started in a cross-legged pose. Draw the hands to your heart center. Honoring another day together. Another day of breathing together and continuing to build this beautiful community to be alone together. I honor you. The light in me honors the light in you. So namaste, everyone.